Hi guys, so it's me, Essie Magic, back again. And for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that came up after one of the videos I filmed where I talked about being tired and burnt out, etc., etc. And so the question kind of came up, am I truly happy living in LA? So before we get into the video, I want to remind you that I release videos every single week, Thursdays and Saturdays. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay. I hate doing videos like this where I have to be like, all serious and stuff. Okay, no, I don't have to be serious. I have to just be real. Okay, so the thing is about living in LA is that there are a lot of ups and downs that come with living in a place like this. When I first moved to LA, I was like so ready for it. I was so excited. I didn't care who I left behind. I was ready to do this. I was ready to come here and experience this new place. And I find that the longer I'm here though, the more I actually miss my family more and my friends and just being back home in a comfortable place in like my parents' house and you know, things like that. And so that's one thing that has definitely changed for me since being here. And I do have those moments where sometimes I'm just like, I want to go home. Like I want to just go home for a bit, not forever, but just for like a bit and just like kind of retreat, you know, just go to my special place. And I feel like that's what back home represents for me, is being able to go home to the things that are more comfortable to me and safe. Being in LA is opposite of that. It's not really, I don't want to say it's not my safe place, but it feels more like a whirlwind, and it feels more like up and down and less settled and more, you know, constantly wondering, you know, what am I doing? What's next? That sort of pressure. And it's very different. And sometimes I have those times, those moments where I do feel kind of down and feel like burnt out and feel like, you know, I just want to go home for a bit. But ultimately though, I am happy being here for sure. Like very pleased with my choice to come here. And it's one of those things where you just have to weigh, do the positives, you know, outweigh the negatives. And for me, the positives are still this big while the negatives are like this big. And so it's just a very different experience, and it's just not, it's not something that I run away from. A lot of times I embrace the adrenaline rush. For me, it's fun. I like doing things that are challenging and things that I've never done before, having new experiences. So I embrace that difficultness, I guess you can say. I don't know if that's a word, but whatever. Because I feel like the greater the difficulty and risk, the bigger the potential reward. And that's why I love LA so much. It's just the opportunities here are endless. And also, I have experienced so many great things here. I mean, all of the cool events I've gone to, all of the people I've met, the experiences, the learning experiences, meeting really successful people and inspiring people. I just would not have experienced that back home. Like I just wouldn't have, it wouldn't have happened, let's face it. And so for me, it's just, you just can't compare. And at the end of the day, yeah, I have ups and downs. Yeah, I have moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to pay all this for rent again. I have to pay all this just for a meal or whatever. You know, it's an expensive place. I do have those moments where it's like, oh, if I moved to another state even, you know, life would be so much easier. But at the end of the day, life isn't about being easy. That's not the whole well, at least not for me. And you know, I just, every time I have one of these fun experiences where I'm meeting successful people or inspiring people or enjoying all of the cool events I get to go to and cocktail parties and all that, film screenings, whatever, you know, it just, it just feels great. And so I am happy here, and I don't want to leave. I want to stay here for, you know, as long as I can, or at least until I feel ready to, or I feel like I've achieved something. And I know I have achieved some things, and I know that's why people want to be doing what I'm doing, and that's why I created lagoals.com. And one thing I do want to say though is one of the negatives that also happens for me here is that I do end up feeling worse about myself. It's like the more I'm exposed to people who are very successful, people who do themselves up so perfectly, and people who are just living a lush, lavish life, the worse I feel about myself sometimes. And that is actually a negative that happens for me. It's like I feel self-conscious, or I feel like I have barely achieved anything because all these people are doing so great and I'm doing just okay. And I know I have to keep it within context, because I know to some people I'm doing well here and I've made it, so to speak, or I've survived LA or whatever. But it's just, yeah, that is one thing that can make me feel down sometimes. Is just like there's such a thing as being too exposed to great things, because it makes you feel inadequate in some ways. And I have those moments too. But one thing I do is I use it as fuel for motivation. I use it for inspiration. I use it to push me that much harder to achieve my dreams and to go after what I really want, and to, you know, just keep it moving, keep the train going, you know. Yeah, the train might pull over and stop sometimes, but it's got to keep going, you know. It's just the train's got to keep going. I do want to mention that I do have lagoals.com. If you haven't been to lagoals.com, or if you have hashtag LAGoals, you should definitely check it out. It is a site for people who are trying to make it in LA, people who recently arrived here, or even if you've been here for a while and you just want to meet cool people who have similar ambitions as you. It also has guides, it has a forum for people to discuss things, and we have video chats once a month. It's definitely the place to be, you know, around like-minded people and be surrounded by those who can help you grow and help you get ahead. So go to lagoals.com if you want to be a part of the group and be a part of the special community that we have there. I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I release videos every Thursday and Saturday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you keep being magic. Bye.